Hello everyone! Today we're going to make a super yummy Chinese meat pie, also known as a jianbing. There are two different versions of a Chinese meat pie. One is a thicker, soft and doughy, while the other version is a much thinner, crispier, and almost like a sheet of paper with the meat inside. I'll be sharing how to make this simple, thinner version of the meat pie today. They have golden, crispy crusts and juicy, fragrant meat fillings. The process might look a bit daunting, but trust me, it's actually very easy and straightforward once you try it out. When it comes to the meat filling, you have several options. You can use ground chicken, ground beef, pork, or lamb. In my case, I have some leftover lamb filling from the steamed dumplings I made in my last video, so that's what I'm going to use today to make these meat pies. Let's begin with the dough. In the mixing bowl, add all-purpose flour, salt, and warm water. Water temperature has to be below 190 Fahrenheit. Mix them well and then knead until there's no more dry flour in the bowl. Cover the dough and let it rest for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, transfer dough on working surface. Dust a little bit of dry flour if the dough becomes a little too sticky on your hand. Knead it a few more times until the dough becomes smooth. After you have achieved smooth dough, it should be soft enough to work with but not sticky to your hands. Roll out the dough into the shape of the log. Then divide the dough into an even number of small portions, either 12 small portions or 14 or 16 small portions. This is because we will be combining two pieces of dough to make one meat pie. I typically estimate the size of the dough based on how many small portions I need, but you're welcome to use a kitchen scale if you prefer a more precise measurement. I prefer smaller meat pies, so I divide the dough into 16 small portions. If you prefer larger meat pies, just divide the dough into fewer portions. So after dividing the dough, roll each piece of small dough into a round shape. Do this by pulling the edges with both hands and tucking them underneath a few times until you have a smooth, small round dough. Repeat this process until you have finished with all the small portions of dough. Then transfer the small doughs onto a plate and use either vegetable oil or olive oil to coat each piece of dough evenly. Be sure to completely coat the dough with oil. This is an important step because the oil helps make the dough more elastic by lubricating the gluten. This will make it a lot easier to stretch the dough later on. After allowing all the small doughs to rest and relax the gluten for 2 hours, it is time to create the meat pies. Take 2 pieces of dough and simply use hands to press and stretch them outward around the edges to form a medium-sized disc. Make sure the 2 pieces of dough are of similar size. Then add the meat filling in the center of one piece and cover it with the other piece. Seal around the edges first, then gently press and stretch from the center to the edges, spreading the meat filling evenly between the 2 pieces of dough. Even if some of the meat filling comes out of the dough, it is totally okay. It won't change the taste of the meat pie, it just adds more character and an appetizing appearance. This dough is incredibly soft and elastic, making it very easy to stretch and shape the meat pie into any form you like, whether round, square, or oval. The taste is all the same, and it's a fun way to get creative with your meat pies. It is a great idea to make extra meat pies at once and then divide them between sheets of baking paper. You can store them in freezer up to 2 months. There's days you don't feel like cooking a big meal. Simply take a meat pie out of the freezer. There's no need to defrost it. Just cook it on a hot cast iron pan immediately. It is super convenient, and you can still enjoy a high-quality homemade meal. To cook the meat pie, start by heating your pan until it's hot. Drizzle some oil on the pan. You can use any pan, but for the super crispy texture and a golden crust of the meat pie, it is the best to use a cast iron pan. Over a medium-high heat, place the meat pie on the pan, gently shaping it to fit in the pan. Don't move it too much because the dough is very thin. You only need to cook it for 1 minute on one side, then flip it over and cook the another side for about 1 minute. Once both sides are formed, flip it again and cook for another minute. This time, use 2 spatulas to push it around to loosen up the dough. Then flip it. Repeat the same process for 1 more minute, or until you see that golden crust and a crispy texture have developed. About 2 minutes on each side over medium-high heat should do it. The dough is very soft, yet the crust and the crispiness on the surface are undeniable. After 2 minutes of cooking on each side, thin layer of a meat filling is completely done. There are many different ways to enjoy this meat pie. You can savor this thin, soft meat pie by themselves. They are already very tasty and satisfying. You can also use them as wrappers to enclose stir-fried vegetables, or you preferred protein. Whichever way you choose, it will bring you happiness and satisfaction. So there you have it, the thinner version of the meat pie. In next video, I will share how to make the second version, which is thicker, soft, and doughy. Make sure to subscribe and turn on that bell button to receive reminders for new videos. If you like to learn how to make a ground pork or beef fillings, be sure to check out my spicy dumpling and wonton soup videos. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this recipe and feel inspired to give it a try. Until next time, happy cooking everyone!